Hello, Empowered Woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman podcast. Today, I'm going to walk you through a quick recap of 2020 and the show, a year in review with so many episodes and interviews, and I'll also share the 3 steps, the 3 things, the 3 areas that you should be focusing on to make 2021 your best year yet and take your life and business to the next level. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on personal development for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to stop spinning your wheels, trying random personal development resources, and actually boost your confidence to show up fearlessly in your life and business, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spirk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again. Let's dive into today's episode. Goodness gracious, lamb sakes alive. Do you feel that energy? Do you feel the excitement into starting a new year? And you know what? I've felt slightly bad saying that I had an amazing year of 2020. But on the same hand, yes, people are struggling. It has been hard in so many different ways, but we have to look for the positive, right? We have to stay grateful. We have to find that silver lining because what you focus on grows. And that is really my hope for all of you listening to me and listening to me faithfully throughout the year. And I'm so grateful is that you'll start 2021 with a grateful heart. Not just, saying, well, 2020 sucked. Let's make the most out of 2021. That's not really how gratitude works, right? That's not really how setting yourself up for success and happiness and an amazing life works. You have to be grateful for where you are right now. And that's what moves you forward. I just had to start this episode on this note. And I am so excited for this because I wanted to specifically talk about the episodes that we've had throughout the year. Obviously not all of them, but share some of the interviews. I know that the very first one that I had earlier in the year, the very first one that I had in January when I rebranded the podcast and all the things, is the one that has been listened to the most, close to 1,000 downloads for my episode with Autumn Calabrese. And I think it's an amazing one to start the year with as well. So go back and listen to the episode with Autumn. It was really amazing. She focused a lot on learning to love yourself and seeing yourself on a different light. I highly encourage you to go check it out. That was one that was amazing. I also had an amazing chat with NLP master practitioner, Ayodele Kalade. She was another one that I got such amazing feedback on. I've had the pleasure of actually working with her and doing sessions with her. She got to do a guided session in my membership, the Empowered Woman School, a couple months ago. And oh my gosh, my members loved her. They were like, where did you find this amazing woman? So you got to go and listen to that one as well. I interviewed a local celebrity here. It's a radio show host, Tracy Dixon, and she talked all about, growing up in the middle of nowhere and rising up to the top. And she's been in the entertainment industry for over 7 years now. It's a country station where she hosts the show, and she's amazing. I had guests talk about parenting and handling tantrums. I was able to interview a few of my clients talking about, how it is to work with me, how it is to be a part of the Empowered Woman School. We had episodes that talked about the pandemic, that talked about connecting with nature and reflecting because of this crazy year. I interviewed one of my mentors that really helped me with gaining visibility and growing so much in 2019 and now in 2020, just reaping the fruits of working with her, Lisa Simone Richards. She's amazing. Actually spoke at an event of hers a couple months ago. She invited me to speak and kind of give a testimonial and also talk about my business, and I made amazing connections that way. as well. Who else? I had my first two male guests, amazing Brad Yates, EFT master. If you don't know who that is, go listen. He did a EFT session on air on self-love, which is everything that I talk about, and it was amazing. I got to interview Gary Barnes, so it was the other man that I interviewed this year, and I'm actually working with him. He is my business coach right now, and he's amazing. Who else? Oh my gosh, I had Deanna Malstaff on the show. That was one of my favorite interviews. She just dropped some amazing truth bombs, amazing nuggets of wisdom, talking about building a business while building a family. Who else? I had Macy Matarazzo talking about finding the love of your life and how she helps women on all walks of life find their beloved, as she says. So if you're a single lady, go listen to that one. It's episode 150. I interviewed amazing TEDx speaker and poet Dominique Christina, and she dropped some amazing poems on air as well, talking about women. I interviewed the founder of Women of Denver, Crystal Covington, Michelle Mraz, who has an amazing story of overcoming brain injury and is an amazing speaker and motivational business coach, all the things. I talked to Jess Bonasso. This was a most recent one. We talked a lot about the Enneagram, and it was amazing. And most recently, we had Ellie Tyler, who shared how music can be a form of self-care, how singing can be a form of self-care. And then we did an amazing and fun collab, singing some Christmas carols. And I gotta tell you, I was looking at the different downloads because I was wanting to see which episodes were most listened to, and I decided not to do this right now. I will compile everything and create a different episode to talk about that. And the reason is because older episodes have more downloads. So I didn't think it was fair to do a recap of the year right now. I'll just wait and do that in 2021. But I gotta say that the majority of the episodes that have the most downloads are my solo episodes, which makes me proud. It makes me happy to know that even though you love the guests that I bring, you listen to the show because you like listening to me. So that is amazing. That makes me feel so blessed that you have enjoyed this entire year. I've had so many ladies tell me, you're my friend in my walks. You're my friend in my commute. You're my friend every morning. You're the one that I listen to. And it just makes me happy to know that, the fruits of my labor. 2.5 years in. Can you believe it? And I've grown so much. So grateful for you that have, come along for me on this amazing ride. Something exciting that I shared a couple days ago is that I am in the process of hiring someone long-term to help me with my business, because I know this is the next step to grow even more in 2021, which is what we're going to be talking about in a minute here in the show. But I have an application set out. So if you're interested, you can just go to martaspirk.com/application. If you're a virtual assistant, or if you're used to doing some kinds of tasks like managing a Facebook group, helping me with social media, helping me with the podcast, I would love to learn more about you and see if it's a good fit. I'm thinking I may actually have 2 different people to work on specific tasks. So I would love to connect with you. So go on ahead and apply if you're interested. Now, moving on to something super exciting. It's the last week of the year. So I had to talk about getting ready for the new year, obviously. And I want to make this super concise and succinct because I'm going to be working and talking more about this in January, obviously. But since it is the last week of the year, I wanted to leave you with some truths, with some truth bombs, and with some practical steps. So that's why I wanted to talk about the 3 things, the 3 steps, the 3 areas for you to focus on. And I was just in a Facebook group right now, and somebody asked, what are your 3 goals? Tell me 3 goals. And I thought my 3 goals for 2021 are the things that I am teaching, are the things that I'm encouraging my clients to focus on. And I want to share more about this with you. But first, I got to tell you that I created a survey to learn more about what you want to learn about, because there are so many different things that I could be talking about that fall into these 3 areas. But I want to know specifically from you what it is that you want to hear from me. So I created a survey. I have the link in the show notes. It's super quick. It'll take you less than 2 minutes to fill it out. But before I share the 3 steps, I just wanted to share a little bit, of my realizations this year, of the things that I've learned that I know were responsible for a lot of my growth. And I have to compare it to kind of like a reckoning. a humbling encounter with myself that really reminded me of my humanity and that there is life on the other side of failure. And I think that more than anything, 2020 brought me this experience, understanding that there is hope, there is life on the other side. And really, the compound effect of triplet motherhood, challenges of building a business in the pandemic opened my eyes to a truth that I was refusing to acknowledge, that I've been afraid that nothing good would happen in my future unless I made it happen. You know, I'm the make it happen person, right? I'm always doing all of the things. And this drive is so important. It's really made me achieve so much, but it's also prevented me from finding gratitude and peace in the now. And this is why I started the episode saying, gotta be grateful, gotta find the silver lining. It's been hard for me to rest. And my overdrive has prevented me from rest. So when I picked my 2020 word, it was stillness, because I knew I needed to slow down. I didn't know the pandemic was coming. But I was onto something, obviously. And now 4 years, almost 5 years into motherhood and into my business, I see how much I have needed to sit with myself a little longer than I act. So rest more than I act. And that's why for 2021, I am deliberately focusing on slowing down so that happiness, success, and fulfillment can catch up with me. So if you struggle with analysis paralysis, if you're in perfectionist mode and you struggle to take action, you're in reverse, right? You need that help in taking action. And that's why I am your go-to girl. I'm here to push you and to, help you move forward. But there are those of us who are always so busy doing so many things. We wonder, why am I not seeing results? And it's because you're doing too much and you're not slowing down so that success can catch up with you. So I know how to act. I know how to make things happen. And now that I've allowed myself to also rest and enjoy the now, I know that I can help so many more women entrepreneurs do the same. I want to help you. This is my goal for 2021. I want to help you find the sweet spot between dreaming and doing. So between working on yourself, personal growth, and those idle moments of reflection, and taking action, showing up, being consistent. I've become really an expert in building a business that is authentically me. So if you're feeling frustrated with your business, I can't wait to help you get back on track, but I really need your help. Help me help you make 2021 your best year yet by filling out this quick survey that I put together. I would love to hear more on what you want to learn more on so that I can finish preparing for January and beyond, obviously. But speaking about finding the sweet spot between taking rest and taking action, this is where the 3 steps fall into. So the 3 steps are visibility. Everybody can use more visibility in their business. Everybody can use more eyes on their business. And no, I'm not talking about ads. I'm talking about showing up. I'm talking about positioning yourself as an expert, which in turn builds on your credibility, right? Visibility and credibility go hand in hand. You position yourself as this go-to person for whatever, but in order to position yourself that way, you need to keep showing up. So this is the number one thing that you should be focusing on in the new year, and that I have focused on in the last couple of years, that really, really catapulted me into growth. And that includes what? Getting on podcasts, maybe starting your own podcast, writing for blogs, being a guest expert in different things. I have people friending me and sending me messages saying, hey, I would love to have you speak on my summit. Guys, this didn't happen overnight. I filled out applications. I did all the things. It took time, but here I am. I don't really need to apply for much because opportunities just find me. But you have to start somewhere, right? So that's visibility. That's step 1. Step 2, engagement, connection. Connect authentically with your audience. How do you do that? With engaging content. How do you create engaging content? You have to be very, very clear on your business pillars, on your content, on what your expertise is, and dumb it down, break it down. People are not at your level. That's why you're the expert and they're not. You need to dumb it down, but that's not bad. That's good because you are at their level so that they're excited to learn from you because you're speaking their language. Oftentimes we speak jargon, right? We speak too hard, and that's why people don't connect with us. We need to connect with our audience where they're at. And so this is content creation. and being very consistent with showing up with your content. It's repurposing your content strategically. It's learning how to nurture your audience before a launch. My goodness, if you're not nurturing, prepping, priming your audience, they're not going to be ready to buy. They don't even know what you offer. Okay? So that's step 2. You have to be very consistent with that and connecting with people, right? And finding the time to have conversations, all of those things. And finally, income. We have to focus on income. We have to focus on what is your goal and does that goal match with the offers that you already have? Because oftentimes we get so lost in looking at people saying they're making 6 figures and we're like, oh, I'm going to write in my journals. I'm going to say these affirmations that I am a 6-figure business owner, but you don't even have offers to support $8,000, $10,000 months. So that's very important too. And with that, all the moving parts. Do you even know how to create a landing page? Do you even know how to price your offers? Do you know, how do you break down your content in different offers so that people have different levels of access to you? These are all things that I have learned in the last couple of years and have been teaching my clients and seeing amazing results. So these are the 3 areas, my friend. If you don't have goals yet, write it down. Visibility, engagement, and income. Let's get you seen. Let's make people trust you as an expert. And by default, increase your income. Income comes last. Why? Because impact means more than money. So you have to use your passion and your drive for helping people as your motivator. And then the money will follow. The money will be the side effect of doing amazing things out in the world. What do you say? Does that sound good? I hope this is helpful to you. Go on ahead and fill out my survey. More amazing content coming your way. This is just the beginning of an amazing, amazing, amazing new year. So happy new year. And I hope to see you and connect with you even more in 2021. And I will leave this with a gratitude note and also ask you, if you have not left a review or rated the show on iTunes yet, I would so appreciate it if you did. Or even if you don't know how to do it, if you will send me a message, if you'll connect with me, send me an email. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what you love about the show, what you would want to hear more on, because this show is for you. This show is for me because it helps me stay accountable and it helps me put stuff out there and get stuff out of my head. But ultimately, this show is for you. I'm still here because there's lots of people listening. So I'm grateful for you and I would love to hear back from you. Have an amazing New Year's Eve and an amazing new year.